Today we're going to be using notebook paper and shapes to fold together 3D forms. The forms we're going to be thinking about are a triangular prism and a cube in the first video, and a sphere and a cylinder in the second video. And once you've made them, you can make several of them. I kind of put them together in a sort of fun kind of village here. So make as many or as few as you would like and have fun and be creative. Let's get started. Our first form today is going to be a cube. We know that cubes are six-sided forms that are made by using squares. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do before we make our form is create our first square using notebook paper. In order to create our cube, we're going to need 2 pieces of notebook paper, something to write or draw with, some glue, and some scissors. Okay, so let's take our first piece of notebook paper and we're going to hold it portrait or hot dog or the long up and we're going to bring one side over to this side like this, fold it in half. Leaving it folded, we're going to fold it in half again. It's going to leave us with a long, skinny rectangle. We're going to bring the top of the rectangle to the bottom of the rectangle like this. Okay, rub back and forth, make sure it's smooth and flat. Okay, and then again, we're going to bring the top to the bottom like that. Okay, we're going to be, if we were to open it up, there would be 16 rectangles, but we're not going to open it up. We're just going to cut it so that we have actually 1/16 of this whole paper. So I'm going to open the first fold like this, slide my scissors in and cut, put those away. I'm going to open it again like this, slide my scissors in and cut again and put those away. Okay, I'm going to open it up again, slide my scissors in and cut again and put those away. Let's see what we have left. We should have, and we do, one last fold that has 2 rectangles. Okay, so we only need 1 rectangle to create our square so that we can continue making our cube. We're going to hold our rectangle like this, landscape. We're going to bring that top corner to the bottom like this, okay, and line it up. Then we're going to pick it up. Here's our triangle like this, and here's our rectangle. We want to cut that rectangle off because when we open that little triangle that we're left with, look at that, we have a nice square. Then you're going to need your second piece of notebook paper. Bring that over to get started. Kind of up here towards the top, we're going to use our tracer square and we're going to trace around that first square like this. Okay, then we're going to slide the square tracer down a little bit, and we're going to trace it a second time. Okay, we're going to slide it down again and trace it a third time, and slide it down again and trace it a 4th time. Okay, then we're going to go to the second square from the top and put that tracer to the side like this and trace it again. And put the tracer over here and trace it again like this. Okay, then we're going to draw in little tabs. And what the little tabs are for, they're going to help us to put the cube together. So we're going to draw in just a little bit like this and draw a line across like that. Okay, we're going to want one on these 2 sides here like this. Okay, and then we're going to want one on this bottom square like this. Okay, and then 2 little ones right here. Okay, then next you're going to cut it out. You're just going to cut on that outside line that we drew. Okay, so cut out all the way around, and when it's cut out, you're going to cut out the pattern that we drew for our cube. It's going to look like this. Okay, we're going to start by folding up just those tabs, and that's going to be, here's the tab on the side, and I'm going to fold it on the side of the square so it sticks up like that. All of those little tabs like this, okay? Then the next step is to actually fold up the sides themselves. So on the lines of those squares that we traced, we're going to start folding the sides up like this. And pretty quick you'll be able to see how that cube is actually going to go together. All right, so when everything's folded up and this top one is folded in like this a little bit, we are ready to start putting that cube together. The way we're going to do that is we're going to just put a line of glue on the tabs as we're going along, okay? This one here is going to go on top like this and just give a little squeeze. I'm using tacky glue, which is great because it goes together really quickly. I'm going to bend that little side tab, put a little glue on there, and you can put the tabs to the inside or the outside or both, whichever you prefer. Then this next little tab here, I'm going to put some glue on that like this. And put that down like that. And then this last little tab here, I'm going to put that in like this, and we have a cube. That quick and that easy. Okay, you might want to let it dry a little bit before you start trying to move it around, just because those sides will tend to pop out a little bit. Okay, so that's our cube. So let's move on to our second form. Our second form for today is going to be a triangular prism, and the reason we're going to make a triangular prism second is they are fun, if you make it with a square bottom like we are going to today, to create little roofs for those cubes that we made, and you can create little houses that stand up 3D. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to be using that same square that we traced to make the cube earlier in the video, and you can find the directions at the beginning of that video to remember how to do it. Okay, so this time we're going to start by right in the middle. We're holding our notebook paper in the portrait or up and down direction, hot dog direction. We're going to trace it right here in the middle, and then we're going to trace it again on all four sides. So I'm starting on the bottom and I'm tracing it again here. I'm going to trace it again over here. And I'm going to trace it again on the top up here. And I'm going to trace it again here on that last side. So we're going to have this one in the middle, which is going to become the bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, one square on each side, okay? So then right about the middle of these outside walls of our squares, we're going to just put a point. It does not need to be exact. We're just going to guesstimate, okay? And then we're going to draw our triangles by starting at that dot we just drew and come in to these bottom corners like that. And I'm going to do that on all four squares, okay? So I'm just going from the corner to those midpoints that we drew like that. Okay, so now we have our four triangles surrounding that middle square like that. Let's draw some little tabs because again, it's going to help us put this together. They don't need to be perfect, and they probably shouldn't go all the way to the top or the bottom of our triangles. So I'm just kind of putting them here on the sides, each one of the sides. Okay, when we're done with that, we are ready to cut this masterpiece out, okay? When we cut it out, I'm going to show you it in red. We're only going to cut on the outside edge of that red so that it ends up looking like this, okay? So you're not going to want to cut these square pieces. You are going to want to cut your tabs and your triangles like this. Okay, just like with our cube, our first step is going to be to fold up those little tabs that we cut. okay, on each side of the triangles. All right, when you get that finished, you are going to fold up those triangular sides on the lines of that middle square, okay? So what that means is these 4 sides are going to fold up like this towards the middle, okay? Like that. All right, and then just like with our cube, when we're gluing, we're going to want to put some glue on those tabs like this, okay? But for our triangular prism, we're going to put the tabs together instead of the walls and sides, okay? So I'm going to have my glued side here and my unglued side here, and I'm going to press those together like that. Move on to the next one. Maybe this time I'll glue this side and press it together with the unglued side of the opposite triangle like that. You're just bringing those walls up to the middle, okay? Okay, for that last wall, we're going to make sure that we have glue on all of those tabs here and here, and we're just going to bring that last wall up and close it. Give a little squeeze like that, okay? And our triangular prism is done. Just like our cube, we might want to let it dry a little bit before we try and use it as the roof and maybe turn that cube and triangular prism into a house.